How does one add plants back to their carnivore diet and still be carnivore? Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to my freezing cold life where Tennessee got blasted with some interesting weather, don't you think? I digress. I just came from taking the dogs out to in, so I have 20 layers on. But with that said, how do you remain carnivore but still add plants back? Is that possible? Well, yeah, it's what I do. I ride the line of carnivore. If someone were to hang out with me, they would think, oh, she's carnivore, because the majority of my diet is fat first, of course, then protein, then I add a little bit of plants back, a wee bit. For a very, very long time, I would just do one avocado a day, which is riding the line for the potassium, and doing just all high fat, super high fat, and protein. Now I'm experimenting with 1 to 2 plant groups per week just to mix it up. But it's so small that if somebody were to watch me eat, they'd say, she's still carnivore. Other people on the outside might see me as carnivore, but I see myself as more ketogenic because I will go out to a restaurant and have a big bowl of broccoli with butter and steak. I won't not eat it, but on the daily, I really don't eat a lot of plants. I eat just enough to keep the prebiotic fiber, the fermentation, and the butyrate process to continue to heal my broken gut. Should you guys do that? I do believe anyone who's doing a carnivore diet should make it very high fat, so you're ketogenic or ketotic driven. You want to be in ketosis and have the fat be your fuel rather than trying to fuel the body on protein, which is a disaster because you can't establish glycogen storage within the muscle eating a bunch of meat. You might get a little bit more potassium doing that, but then your blood sugar is going to bounce like a crazy bouncing ball, and you're going to go from feeling good to feeling tired. A lot of people will develop sort of that crash in the afternoon, and they don't realize it's coming from either fasting all day, or when they do eat meat, they're overeating it too fast and shoots their blood sugar up, then down, then they feel tired. What I like to do, or what I recommend for other people, is to literally ride the line. I, again, ride the line. So everything is about the fat first. Most important. The gallbladder issue people, that's a whole nother video. But for those who do not have a gallbladder issue, riding the line couldn't be more perfect, in my opinion. You are ketotic, fat, check. You're moderate to lower protein, depending on your activity level, your GLUT4 receptor development, and your ability to digest protein and utilize it. And then there are plants that you can add, like asparagus, broccoli, the cruciferous vegetables. If you're having a histamine or mast cell reaction, you start off very slow. You might start with half a teaspoon, and you might graduate to a teaspoon, to then a tablespoon, to then 1/8 or 1/3 of a cup, and you might go bi-weekly or by every other week to slowly acclimatize or acclimate to that plant. Your body has lost the ability, by doing carnivore for a long time, watch Sean Baker's video, your body's lost the ability to deal with the histamine or anti-nutrient response from not eating those foods. Your regulatory systems are on vacation. So when you go from a long-term carnivore, or like no plants at all, back to plants, in most people there's a bit of a response, like a bloat or a tired, or the blood sugar starts bouncing like a ball. Pay attention to those symptoms. And the amount, like I said, is very small. You could go An avocado a day, a half an avocado a day, 1/3 cup of a plant source food one time a day with your meals. Can you imagine eating just a little golf ball size of asparagus and then the rest of your diet is high fat and meat? You wouldn't look like you're a plant ketogenic person. Keto and carnivore are the same diet. Just one adds plants. You always have to make it high fat. But ride the line for those who have a histamine response to plants and get your regulatory systems back in balance so you can have more diversification of food, because plants are not trying to KILL you. There is a place for plants. You can even eat seasonally. You can even grow your own food and eat seasonally. But to keep that gut balanced, to me, riding the line is perfection. And of course, not everybody can go and create a garden. So make sure that your foods are always pesticide free and grass fed. And if you can't afford it, save them pennies. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I run a course where I cover all 3 diets because I'm starting to realize not everybody can do keto because of their gallbladder, blood sugar dysregulation, carnivore for people who've got severe mast cell activation, and for those who need carbs, low carb, they don't know how to do it, how much, and the timing of them. I also do consultations where I cover all 3 diets. You can go through, or to, rather, stephanieperson.com to learn more about both things that I offer. And I'm out because now I got to edit this video and go to bed. And I'm going to talk more about how to do these dietary measures, how to slide from each low carb measure, and how to remain carnivore to outward society standards, air quote, because everything's made up in our mind, right? If you eat a little plant and call yourself carnivore, then you're carnivore. If you're eating a bunch of cake and call yourself carnivore, call yourself carnivore. A lot of people will disagree with that, but I think just riding the line visually and getting just a wee bit enough of prebiotic fiber or potassium in plants with high fat and mostly meat, to me, is the best diet on the planet. You don't have to eat that though. You can eat carbs. And I'm out. Peace.